Hello everyone, this is your mentor Anshu from mentorbuddy.com. In this video, we are going to discuss about IP address. What is IP address? So an IP address is a number for a piece of a network hardware which you are using on your ISP provider. So simply we can say most of the IP address which you see looks like this with a combination of 4 octets with 88 bits. While you may have come across some other IP addresses also that is with a combination of numbers and alphabets, that's called IPv6. So let's try to understand. Now the first question comes is, what is an IP address used for? Why do we use IP address? So an IP address provides an identity to a network device. A device which is connected to a network needs an identity to be identified on a network. The actions need to be recorded and monitored from your ISP. So that is why we use IP address. Now, how many types of IP addresses do we have? So basically we have 4 types of IP address: private IP address, public IP address, static IP address, and dynamic IP address. So let's discuss about all these IP addresses one by one. So number first, we have private IP address. Private IP address are used inside a network like the one which you are using at your home. These IP address are not used anywhere on public internet. They are reserved for private LAN connections which we use generally at our home or in our school buildings. These IP addresses can be set manually or assigned automatically by your router to the ISP to which is connected. Then we have public IP address. Public IP address are used on the outside of a network assigned by your ISP automatically. These addresses are used to communicate with the rest of the network device around the world on the internet. It provides a way for the device in your home to reach your ISP so that they can connect you to the outside world. Public IP address is basically a IP address which is same for all the users on a same network. Then we have our static and dynamic. So both private IP address and public IP address, they both can be dynamic or static. They can be changed or they can't be. For example, dynamic IP address, they keeps on changing periodically. These are assigned to ISP customers, while the static IP address are assigned to routers and servers. That is why they never change. So how to find your IP address? So let's try finding our public as well as our private IP address one by one. Okay, so let's learn how to find your IP address. So since we have 2 types of IP address, basically that is called public IP address and your private IP address. So let's learn one by one. So to find your public IP address, open any browser and go to a website named as whatismyipaddress.com. We have to go to the website named as whatismyipaddress.com. So I'll just open my browser and I will just open a website that is named as whatismyipaddress.com. The moment I click on enter, you can see here my website will give me details about my public IP and my location also. On the website of what is my IP address, I will be getting my public IP and location. So let's see where. So this is my, you can see here my IP address is 119.42.157.2 with my location from where right now I am sitting, that is New Delhi from India. So in this way we can easily find our public IP address on this website that is called whatismyipaddress.com. Now if you want to find your private IP address, we have to open our command prompt from your run start menu. So I'll just go to start. I'll write here run. I'll open my run and then I will type here CMD and I will open my command prompt. And in command prompt, I will need to type here simple command, that is IP config. So I'll just go to my command prompt. I will type here IP config. The moment I hit enter, you can see here Ethernet is disconnected. Right now I'm using wireless LAN area network, so I can see my IPv4 192.168.123.3. So in this, the last number is called user number on a network in which you are working. And basically the first digits are because of the ISP. So in this way, you can easily find your IPv4, and just above this IPv4, you can also see here we have our IPv6. We have our IPv6 with a combination of hexadecimal, while IPv4 is only a combination of decimal numbers from 0 to 9, and IPv6 is a combination of hexadecimal from 0 to 9 and alphabets from A to F. So in this way, you can find your public IP address as well as private IP address. Thank you.